Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about Meridian by Alice Walker. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. So, Meridian is a very interesting character. She's this young black woman that is fighting for the rights of black people. When we meet her and within this work, she is very active. Okay, so we can even go as far as to say is she was part of a group that was willing to kill for civil rights. But Meridian is not about that type of lifestyle. We see her getting involved in Chickakima, Georgia. Where that's her hometown, where she helps children, get things that they deserve, things that they should be allowed to attend. This freak show that they're trying to attend, but they wouldn't let the kids enter because they were black. So Meridian, she's fighting for adults, she's fighting for your kids, she's fighting for civil rights, and she's willing to fight the good fight. And again, the 1960s, the latter of the 1960s and the 1970s, it was a tough time for black people who were fighting for civil rights. There was a lot of violence, a lot of killings, a lot of beatings. It wasn't a good time. Now, Meridian is going through all of this, trying to fight for black people, trying to fight for people like herself, but also she's also going to college. She's trying to attend college, and this is 1960s. There weren't that many black people in college. There weren't that many black instructors, and even if you had a college degree as a black person, where could you really truly get a job and be treated fairly? So she's a woman that was fighting on every front, from the side of her education, from the side of civil rights. She was really fighting on every side. Even in her romantic life, we see her relationship with Truman held. Um, he's a bad guy. I mean, he's a bad guy. He comes in and out of Meridian's life. And Meridian, her life, if we put the civil rights things aside, the fighting for the rights of black people, fighting for her education, her romantic life is a mess. She got pregnant in high school, and she pretty much, left that baby behind because she got pregnant as a teenager. So that was a whole situation right there. And then, with her relationship with Truman, she gets pregnant when they rekindle their relationship. And she gets pregnant and she gets an abortion, which is, not an easy thing to go through. It's just not an easy thing, especially at that time, abortions now today, a lot of people see them as normal, but especially at that time, it wasn't. So this woman, she's abandoned a child that she had when she was a teenager. Now she had to abort a child because of Truman. And Truman, he's unsure. There's points where he's like, I'm in love with Meridian and everything's going strong. But then, while everything's going strong, he sees other women because there's this white woman that comes into this picture by the name of Lynn. And, Truman goes after her while he was still having a sexual relations with Meridian. So he's sleeping with Meridian, and he's also pursuing another relationship with Lynn. This is, how this gets really dark. So you're being beaten and, just screwed and in every situation. The society that you live in, it's really tough, really rough on you because of your skin color, because of your race. You're fighting to get a good education, to get a college degree. Your romantic partner is cheating on you, even though he's sleeping with you. And to put some more wood, some more coal in the fire, Meridian keeps getting sick. She keeps, getting sick throughout the work. falling unconscious, being paralyzed at points, you know. So her health is also in question. So this woman is an incredibly strong woman that is facing the world. And the world is just walloping her again and again and again, and it just won't stop. Meridian Hill here, I mean, I guess this is kind of a joke, but she definitely had a hill to climb, because her life is just one after the other. She's just getting walloped and walloped and walloped by all types of things in her society, from her romantic life, her education, civil rights, fighting for the rights of black people, fighting for her own life, fighting for her own, for everything. She had to fight for everything. So within the work, we do see her continually being active within the civil rights movement. We see her fighting through college. After she had the abortion, Truman came back to her and said, "You know what? I want to try again. I want to start a family with you. I want you to have my kids." This is after he was with Lynn, and Lynn left, and he went to go back to Meridian to start to rekindle their relationship. And Meridian just, struck him with her book bag, and she wasn't having it, because I mean, that's pretty traumatic. You had to go through an abortion on your own, and also your lover cheated on you and left you. And I mean, there's layers to it. It's also, Len is white, so you have this love triangle between a black man, a white woman, and a black woman. So there's so many ways you can analyze that. um the culture, like, it's kind of like Meridian is fighting the culture from a black person's perspective, but also the differences between white people and black people, in terms of you're competing with this white woman for this black man that you love, and this black man can't choose whether he wants to be with the white girl or the black girl. And you know he gets Meridian pregnant, she gets an abortion, and then later Truman ends up marrying Len. They have a daughter, but then the daughter dies because she's attacked, and then that relationship falls apart. And Truman tries to keep going back to Meridian, but she doesn't take him back romantically. Their relationship is rocky, but they still somehow remain in each other's lives. When Truman's daughter dies, when his biracial daughter dies, Meridian does comfort him, and they remain connected within each other's lives. But the marriage between Len and Truman, it does fall apart. And for Len, it's really hard because she wanted to fight for black people. She wanted to fight in the civil rights movement, and be helpful wherever she could. And she married a black man. She had a biracial child, and she loved her husband, but then her husband also loved Meridian, and her husband, that's different parts of the work. He's with other women, or he lives at some point, Lynn finds him living with this young blonde woman. So Truman is not a upstanding guy. He goes from women to women. He doesn't know exactly what he wants, and he's not stable. He's not staying with one woman, black, white. Truman is not the best husband figure or male figure that makes the decision and sticks with it. And he causes a lot of pain for Meridian, for Len, for the women, even his own daughter. He causes a lot of pain for them within this work, because he just keeps jumping from ship to ship without anchoring anywhere. So that's a little thing about his character that needs to be analyzed and needs to be questioned. So so the marriage between Lynn and Truman, that does, it ends. The daughter dies, and the relationship ends. The marriage ends. They go their separate ways. Meridian, she keeps fighting for the civil rights for black people, and later within the work, she looks back on how everything went, and we see Truman grasping and grappling with his life, and how he's going to deal with his decision in his life. And somehow he keeps, like, Meridian has been his anchor. He's always going after her, always trying to figure out his life by seeing what she's doing. And the novel pretty much ends with them still trying to figure out, excuse me, with them trying to figure out their lot in life, and everything they've gone through. So in terms of deeper meaning and analysis, this work is really layered. There's a lot that's going on within it. There's a lot that we can analyze here. Meridian is definitely a strong character. I mean, her name is the name of the book. There's a lot you can study about her to see her strength. I mean, the 1960s and 1970s, for black women, for black men, it was a turbulent time where you had to fight for everything you had, your family, your rights, your existence, your education, everything was on the line, and you had to fight for everything. And that did create a generation of strong people, of strong black people, that were, in the 1960s, 1970s, they were building themselves up. You had a lot of strong, brave, ready to learn, people who were going to build the world for themselves within the 1960s and the 1970s. These are the people that, the sons and daughters of slaves that fought for everything that they had, freedom, liberty, rights to become citizens. And all of that was achieved by the 1970s. And then by the late 1980s and the 1990s, I guess you can say, black culture started to deteriorate with, crime, drugs, and violence and things like that. So, yeah, but within this work, it is interesting to see the struggles. It's interesting to see the character of Meridian. I mean, her character, even though all the things that she goes through, sickness, disease, racism, she does remain strong, and she doesn't give up. And even though her sickness try to kill her, she does recover, and she keeps going. She graduates college. She picks herself up. She gets better. By the end of the work, she's not sick anymore. And we see her, just moving forward with her life. And Truman he's still trying to figure out, he's looking at Meridian. He's like, I need to keep on keeping on, because he's a character that is developed or developing within this work also. So that's my summary analysis of this work. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.